you get a lot of hate, right? Which is kind of a good thing in some eyes. But the thing that I also notice is you get a lot of love, bro. You have a lot of people that believe in you.
Yes.
I got to be fair, but including myself, I'll throw my name in that hat. I believe in you, bro. And I think that like there's something about you that's a little bit of an X factor. With some guys, you can't put your finger on it, but like you see that they got like a lot of potential. And I see that. I don't know why people like question you sometimes, but I will say, dude, your supporters, man, they really they're like, this is Buckley's year and shit like that. So you're seeing that shit too, and because you're saying this is your year, you feel that yourself, but you have fans who also believe in you heavily like that.
Right. But when I'm glad you said, like, you got to see it for yourself first, and then other people that's around you and surrounded by you can see the confidence in you, can see the ability in you, and be like, okay, if he can see it for himself, we can see it for him as well. But those other people that you talk about, like, that's just a part of the process. You got naysayers all around that's gonna believe in a whole different alternative for you. But my thing is that you're in control at all times of what's going on. Unfortunately, my boy Bulk lost, right? I like Walk a lot, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big fan of him. But like Topuria said, a lot of people had him doubted to lose. Like when I had put up the little poll, right? I had like 1,000 people or 800 people, whatever, make a vote. And I think Topuria only got like 13%, right? Or like people that actually thought that he was going to win. But, even that small percentage, it's all about yourself, right? It doesn't matter how many people believe in you or doubt you. If you don't believe in yourself, like, bro, you ain't never going to get anywhere. So I feel like, my belief in itself, my confidence that I have for myself, bro, and also me backing it up with the last 2 wins that I had, I believe that's what get people behind me. I just can't wait for the UFC to see that.
I think they're going to see it. I think it's coming 100%. I think you got even people now who are kind of, especially after your last fight, they're chattering about that. Like people have been, I don't know if you saw it, but campaigning for you to fight Kelvin Gastelum and shit like that. So they see it, they want you to have those big fights and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't seen that, but yeah, that would have been a great fight. That would have been a great fight. We already tried to get that booked up a long time ago, but he dropped the bag with Sean Brady, and so no telling what he gonna do. He probably gonna be back, a year later from now, which is crazy. Yeah. Like dudes like that only fight like once a year.
True.
And me, I've been activated, bro. Like since I got signed with the UFC, bro, 12 fights. Since 2020.
I know, I had to double check that. The last time you mentioned that to me, I was like, shit, 12 fights are like on your 11th one? That's fucking wild.
But yeah, like I said, it's all about choices. And on top of that too, like people forget, like me fighting at 185, that was a choice that I made upon myself, that I was just going to do that. But I didn't have to cut no weight. I didn't have to do anything extra, but just train, and fight my heart out. But people don't realize, like, bro, like I only really lost one fight at 170. And that fight was against a world champion in Logan Storley, where he just held me down for like 15 minutes, And another guy, but I got to redeem that fight, though, as well against Jackie Gosh. So we 1-1. I call that a draw, if anything, right? So I'm 10-1-1 as a welterweight. Like, I really feel like my abilities at this weight class, bro, is really going to shine. Because I feel like the thoughts that everybody have about me, or the negative opinions that they have about me, they see from 185 from middleweight. But they don't check all the things that I've done at 170 right now. And I ain't talking about in the past. I'm talking about my most current fights at 170, bro. I straight dominate. But don't nobody want to put that into play.
No, that's a good point. I think that maybe with like some of the other losses at 185, they're kind of counting you out a little bit, but they're not realizing that you dropped down to 15 pounds, Are you still there? Yo.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. No, I was just saying that's probably a really good point, is you're getting some of the hate just from the 185 stint you were at, but this is a new kind of like new life for you at 170. And it's like you dropped down last year when I think even before you're even 30. So sometimes guys drop down when they're like getting older and shit like that, as like, but you kind of like try to get on the ball like ahead of time, and like you realize this shit earlier on, like I could drop down to 170 and probably have a better run over there.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it was just opportunity why I fought at 185. When I got cut from Bellator after my last loss against Logan Storley at 170, I couldn't find a fight for like a year. I was out for like damn near a year, And LFA, called me up with an opportunity to fight at 185, and I just took it. And I just stayed there just because, whatever, they just kept calling for that 185. And then that's when we got signed at 185. And, I lost my first fight against Kevin Holland, who shouldn't have been fighting at middleweight either, But having those, like, losses at that time, it's just like, bro, it's a whole different type of beast when you actually training and actually focused and actually tuned in. Because right there, I was just doing me. Like, I wasn't really as serious as I needed to be in order to be the best in the world. But now, the only thing that's on my mind is becoming the world champion. So when people be like, whatever, oh, man, you losing numbers on social media, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm trying to get my bank account big, Because at the end of the day, I know that when I become who I'm destined to be and who I know I can be, the whole world going to be behind me at the end of the day. But I got to get there first.
You just got to get those opportunities and keep winning.
That's it, bro. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.